Hi everyone, it's September 25th, 2010. I'm Dwight Schmuck. This is the Schmuck Look, and today we're going to talk about some sore losers. Seems that Iowa, Colorado, all across this great land of ours, people are going to the elections to recall judges who, had the temerity to rule against their side of the case. Iowa, it's because, the same-sex marriage thing, which, according to the Bible thumpers, why, it would stop the world. The sun would no longer come up. We'd all fly off into space and die. Last I looked out my window, that hadn't happened. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking not. And, amazingly enough, yes, there are 4 states or 5, whatever it is, that have, gone through the judicial process to enforce the laws of equality in this land. And there's like 4 other places, including Washington, D.C., I might add, that have done this through the elections. That, okay, by us. And Washington, D.C. deserves a special mention because their city laws, their congregate laws, have to go through, believe it or not, our Congress. It's not enough for the city council there to pass it and the mayor. It's then got to go through Congress to get passed. And by gosh, same-sex marriage, equality in marriage, why, it got the okay from our Congress. Can you say it with me here? Losers. Because these people are too scared to try to mandate that nationally. But, okay, hey, we'll pass it here, and, we'll kind of keep it hush-hush that we did that, and, maybe the people out there in America, the people who we allegedly represent, well, they won't mind that we're denying them the same freedoms we're given to this city here. Can you say it with me again here? Losers. Iowa, Colorado, and, a lot of the money financing these lawsuits and recall campaigns is coming from out of state. It would be one thing if the Iowans were financing this recall election or election recall or diselection or whatever the campaign is called. It would be one thing for them to finance it themselves. And the same with the Coloradans and, wherever else this kind of malarkey is going on. But millions and millions and millions of dollars is coming from out-of-state organizations. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a dumb schmuck. I know I'm being a real one. But haven't we all just about had enough of this noise where billionaires and millionaires who don't live in our state, who don't live in our community, where they can shovel loads and loads and loads and loads of money, making, grand TV advertisements and, print advertisements and all of that, and wage a real campaign. But again, the important part is these people don't live here, wherever here may be, whether it's Iowa, Colorado, or Vermont, because we had a ton of money come in to try to convince everybody that equality in marriage was such a bad thing. And our legislature, fortunately, our legislature had the guts to stand up to that and say, wait a minute, equality is a good thing. It made all that outside investment money, and the people who threw it in here, losers, sore losers. But again, I'm looking outside my window, and we're not flying off into space, and it's kind of a cloudy day so far, so the sun hasn't really broken through, but it's coming up because, I can see things out there. It's light. So maybe it isn't such a bad thing, you losers. There was a thing on YouTube yesterday, Al Franken in the Senate, choked up about the USO shows he's done, and especially the talking about don't ask, don't tell, because there's a lot of gays in the military. Nobody signs up to put themselves in harm's way willingly to get a date. It just doesn't happen that way. You could join the Y, for God's sakes. You don't sign up for 4 years and get bullets shot at you and grenades and improvised explosive devices to get a date. It isn't done. It's time we have some real equality. I'm pretty sure, because there's so few history students anymore, but back in World War II, the services were pretty damn much segregated. And you had and I can't remember off the top of my head here this morning, the name of the black fighter group, escort group, that flew from England to Germany, flying protection for the bombers in World War II. I honest to God, folks, I'm sorry, just escaping me. I'll remember it as soon as I shut this off, I'm sure. But nobody, the whites wouldn't allow them to fly with the whites, and they were segregated. Now, they were the only fighter escort group to not lose a plane. Think about that. Does anybody out there remember who Crispus Attucks was? The first guy killed in the Revolutionary War, and he was black. We're talking equality, folks. If it's good enough for everybody, it's good enough for everybody. If it's bad for somebody, it's bad. It works like that. You don't need a lot of out-of-state money coming in to influence you. You live where you live. They don't. Are you getting my drift here? It's just a lot of big pockets trying to control you. And if they can't do it that way, well, they'll do it another. Because, well, that's what the whole damn thing is about. Who controls you? Think about that in November, folks. It's time we diselect all the losers. That includes them joy boys and girls down in Congress. Every goddamn one of them needs to be gone. If they'll pass it for there is no reason they cannot pass it for the whole country. Think about that. It's time to get rid of the losers. I'm Dwight Schmuck. That's the Schmuck Look. Peace out there.